This is the Australian Broadcasting Commission transmitting through the stations of the National Network from the Flemington Racecourse. Hello, every state of the Commonwealth of Australia. Hello, New Zealand. Hello, the islands of the Pacific and all overseas countries. The stage is now set for the 72nd Melbourne Cup, for which the horses are now going on to the track. No more favourable conditions could have been wished for than prevail this afternoon. After a very wet October, we welcome November with its touch of warmth, and pleasure at the relief from the shocking weather of October is shown in the almost record crowd and the gaiety of the scene. Set in a background of the rich green of the lawns and racing track, the bright colours of the frocks of the women and the extreme brightness of the flowers make a truly picturesque scene, a scene traditionally associated with the famous Melbourne Cup. Months of preparation have culminated in this great event, and a sense of pleasure, together with the establishment of a new equine hero, will be the tangible results. Specially flattering ovations have been given some of the candidates, and the serious business of the day will take place within a few minutes. In the meantime, the riders are sharpening their horses by smart preliminary gallops over about a furlong in the direction of the turn out of the straight. Stopping near the mile and a quarter post, some of them are cantering or trotting back down the straight, for this great race will be started in the Newmarket Straight about 4.5 furlongs from the judge's box. That means that they will have a straight run of 5 furlongs before they make the turn out of the straight. The appearance of the horses has been the absorbing topic of conversation all the afternoon, and the general consensus of opinion is that the trainers are to be congratulated on the manner in which they have turned out their chargers. Coming onto the course in the order in which they appear in the race book, Dinas Boy, winner of a Caulfield Cup, Cantala Stakes and AJC Metropolitan, led the way. His recent successes earned for him a £10 penalty, and his original weight of 8 stone 6 has now been increased to 9 stone 2. For a 6-year-old imported horse, this is not a prohibitive weight. He was followed by Compri, rather a plain-looking horse, but his record in New Zealand is rather impressive. Cimbrian came next, a handsome rogue. Shadow King, having his 4th try to win this race, followed. He has been placed twice previously, and then followed a compatriot of Compri, the New Zealander Admiral Drake, with Middle Watch next. This stablemate of Shadow King was the champion 3-year-old of last season, and one of the mainstays of the Victorian representatives in this race. There was a special hand clap for Regilla as he came out to try and repeat Possidon's feat of winning the 2 cups in 1 year, and White Nose was also given a flattering reception. His particular task this afternoon is to try and equal Archer's feat of winning 2 years in succession, a performance that has not been done since the first 2 years of the race, 1861 and 1862. Peter Pan and Liberal, 2 Derby winners, were applauded loudly, and now the crowd is hushed with suppressed excitement. In a few minutes, that suppression will have been overcome, and the voices of the 100,000 people present will rise to a mighty roar as they cheer on their favourites. Not much time is being wasted at the barrier by the starter, Mr. Rupert Green, for he is sorting them out into their correct barrier positions, placing the Dawn Patrol next the inside rails and Cimbrian next to him. However, they are nearly ready to be sent on their 2 miles journey for the 1932 Melbourne Cup.
Oh, Havering turned round, facing in the opposite direction. He was facing up nicely just at the time, but he's walked away from the line again. This is going to be awkward to get them away. Havering won't face the machine. We'll have another try. The clerk of the course is leading Havering in, but he broke away from the clerk of the course, and they're racing, and they seem to get away to a good start. They were let go with Havering about a length behind, but moving, and he immediately moved into line with them as they called go, and he was one of the first to take the lead. But immediately after, they crossed towards the inside rail with Shadow King and Regilla showing prominently in there, along with Eastern Chief, and at the head of the others is Admiral Drake and Induna. After they had gone a furlong, Eastern Chief, Shadow King, Induna, and Admiral Drake were together in front, Admiral Drake at the 2 furlongs being about a half a length in front of Induna, close up next Eastern Chief, and then Loughney, Liberal pulling very hard, Shadow King in on the rails, and Jeldawalla pulling very hard next, and then Havering and Rogilla with Oro rather wide out, and Uramba last. Passing the judges' box, Induna heads Admiral Drake now to lead nearly a length. Close up next Eastern Chief, then Liberal, Rogilla pulling double and going round the outside. Then coming Silent Bird, also pulling hard, Havering, Ruark, Shadow King, Loughney, Jeldawalla, Oro, Streporous, Wildemore, and Peter Pan next on the rails. The last still being Uramba, second last being Peter Jackson, and third last Cimbrian. At the 1.25 miles, Induna is pulling hard in front and leading a length from Admiral Drake. Close up next, Rogilla pulling his rider out of the saddle, and then Eastern Chief. Just behind Eastern Chief is Liberal running a nice race, and at the head of the others is Ruark, Silent Bird, Shadow King, Havering, Induna, and then at the head of the others, Peter Pan stuck in on the rails. They go up towards the mile post with the leader still Induna, only half a length from Rogilla, who's running a very nice race. A length to Eastern Chief, close up next, Liberal going well, and then at the head of the others, Admiral Drake, Silent Bird, not Induna, Havering, and then Peter Pan, whose rider has left the rails, apparently content on getting a better run out there. They come round after that towards the 6 furlongs post with Rogilla still half a length behind Induna, a length and a half to Eastern Chief, Liberal, and there's one Wildemore going round the outside, slipping into third placing, running a nice race, and then at the head of the others is Dinnis Boy moving up nicely, Middle Watch, and Bo Nilly coming into the picture. So they come round towards the half mile, and the leader is still Induna, but he has just been joined in front by the one that was running second to him, Rogilla. And a length farther back, Wildemore, Eastern Chief together, and another length behind them is Liberal, closely followed by Bo Nilly. Making the turn into the straight near the 3, and it looks as though Induna and Rogilla are together about a length. And it's about the 2 furlongs post. There's little between Induna and moving up well on the rails, Bo Nilly, and then Rogilla and Peter Pan coming into it. Oh, Uramba will bolt in. He's come round the outside of the field and looks to have them all well beaten. Uramba wins it all right. He's coming away from Peter Pan, who's finishing on a bit strongly. Now Peter Pan might get there. It's going to Peter Pan will win it. Peter Pan will win it. Peter Pan wins from Uramba with Shadow King third. Fourth, 5 lengths away is Induna, then coming Oratory, Gain Carrington, Loughney, Silent Bird, Middle Watch, Bo Nilly, Liberal, and Streporous, then coming Peter Jackson, Havering, and the last to finish was Jeldawalla. Oh, there's one pulled up, Admiral Drake, about a furlong behind the field. Now, the judges' placings are number 18, Peter Pan, W. Duncan first. Number 21, Uramba, A. Knox second. And number 4, Shadow King, E. Baxter third. I'll just check those placings. Number 18 is Peter Pan, W. Duncan first. 21, Uramba, A. Knox second, and number 4, Shadow King, E. Baxter third. And that is the Melbourne Cup of 1932.